You already know who it is, and you already know what it is. It's your boy B. I'm right back, about you cats, with another video. It's Thursday, and I've been on here every day of the week, my people. Every day of the week. I do not think that I'm gonna have a day working from home this week because I think I forfeited it on Tuesday when I went in. But it is what it is. God willing, we got a lot more weeks of this going on if I live that long. And I'm sure there'll be days where I work 2 days from home, weeks where I work 2 days from home. So it's just a give and take. And if anybody gonna do it, it's gonna be the outlier, my people. But we got a great episode lined up for you guys today. We're going to be speaking about the fragrance of the day. We did a little switch. We also are going to speak about a little thing on work that's going on. I'm gonna ask you guys advice about some things. Put your foot in someone else's shoes and see how that works out. Then we're gonna speak about intelligent design and design and biology. I mentioned that one of the most transformative documentaries that I ever saw was that No Intelligence Allowed. It was a documentary by Ben Stein, or Ben Stein was in it. I don't know who the producers were, but they were speaking about intelligent design. The name of the documentary was Expelled, and it was speaking about a teacher who attempted to teach the, the fundamentals of intelligent design in a science class. And the board of education said, you can't do that, brother. You can't do stuff like this. So the documentary explained it. They got into science. They were speaking about how they believe that science is built on a lie, or not so much science, but biology through evolution is built on a big lie and a big conspiracy. So we'll be speaking about those things today. But y'all know how I do. I started off with that 10%. We gotta keep the integrity of the show. And yesterday, it went just like all them other days, my people. I got in early, went to bed early, got me a good night's sleep, woke up feeling just right, my people. Woke up feeling just right. Somebody on the check-in, somebody said, what's going on? Immortal 2332 U4V said, what's going on? Ain't nothing much going on, my brother. Nothing much going on. I'm just on my way to work out here in New York. It is 4:30 in the morning, chilling. We got 11 people on the check-in. When you come in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if this is something that you guys are into. What is this? I'm just a brother chilling, man. Just a brother chilling, walking to work, speaking about some of the things that goes on in his mind. You know? Yesterday, I told you cats that we ain't living forever, man. We ain't living forever. And I'm 45, 46 years old, my people. And I plan on having babies next year, early next year. And when they get in their 20s and need fatherly advice, most likely I'm gonna be an old ass man or I ain't gonna be around. So we just letting our thoughts off over here. So we got some people on the check-in and they said, go to Sweden. Go to Sweden. Okay, somebody said, have a good day. New York done. Somebody said they. Somebody said, go to Sweden. All right, go to Sweden. What's in Sweden that I should see? What's in Sweden that I should see? Somebody else in the check-in said that New York is done. What would make you say a thing like that? That New York is finished? What would make you say something like that? So, yeah, we chilling. You know, felt good. Woke up feeling real good. Very energized today. The chat also makes me energized. Anytime people come in on the check-in and start saying funny things in the comment section, start telling me where they from, it definitely gives me a lot of light. So here we go. Somebody with that sign again, and they say Lawson, Zara Lawson. Somebody said hairy armpits in Sweden. They said it's hairy armpits in Sweden. I don't mind me a hairy, well, I don't know about a whole bunch of legs and armpits and stuff like that, but, you know, I deal with women from the islands, basically. You know, we talking about Haitian women, Jamaican women, We speak about African American women or American women that's black. And that's one thing, you know. I've had a mixed bag. I had some women who shave all the time. Then I have some women who don't. But they all feel the same, my brothers. They all feel the same. So I ain't too much against women that don't shave, you know. Actually turned on in some type of situations, man. I don't mind the afro down there, you know. I don't mind the nappy afro down there, you feel me? Get some kinks all up. Let me stop playing, man. Let me stop playing with y'all. Somebody check in, they said, somebody said 70s Bush, laugh out loud. Somebody said, I like. My boy Jamie Bullfrog said 70s Bush. Ain't nothing wrong with 70s Bush, man. You know? That's why I grew up watching, man. Somebody leave one of them tapes. Because I grew up in the 80s, man. You know, 46. Was born in 1980. You know, those tapes, this before the internet, man. Somebody will leave a tape in the VCR. And you see nothing but, like he said, them 70s. You feel me? 70s, the black power vagina. Ain't nothing wrong with no black, you know. Some Black Panther vagina, man. You feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Somebody in the check-in said, I like. Yeah, but y'all get me off, man, talking about craziness, yo. Let me reel this in before it get crazy. All right, so yeah, man. So yeah, we talk about work now. I told y'all about the health, so now we're gonna go into work, man. Work is cool. Work is straight, man. Work is straight, you know. And I'm a man, and I work with a bunch of pretty people, man. Pretty women. A whole bunch of pretty women. But New York, I tell you what, man, we have a huge gay population, man. A huge gay population. And somebody on the check-in, what they said? Somebody said, hell yeah, born 70 here. Laugh out loud. Remember the magazines? He said, do I remember the magazines? I sure do remember those magazines, man. I sure do remember those magazines. My first introduction to like things like that was like back in the day, man. So I'm from Long Island. And Long Island is kind of different from New York City, where we have a lot more space. We have fields where you could actually play baseball. And my family is from the South. So, you know, the South and people like Americans of African descent from the South, baseball was a huge thing in our culture. So my grandfather grew up playing baseball. My father grew up playing baseball. And that's something that they always taught us, like from the youngest age, we played baseball. And where I lived at, we had this little park. And it wasn't like a park. It was really just an open field. And we used to go over there and play baseball. And like right behind it, or I should say right next to it, where I grew up, it's like a little ditch. And we used to call it the ditch. And it's interesting because if y'all know about Long Island history, damn, I'm about to mess it up. I'm talking about if y'all know about Long Island history. But Roosevelt Field over there, it was like, damn, who are the brothers that made the first flight? Look at my American history, man. Damn, I'm truly an American. I don't know about history. Lindenberg, or one of them people, they actually flew to Long Island. And where they landed was kind of where I grew up, which is Hempstead. And it's like on the border of Garden City. You got Union L over there, Westbury, and the mall is over there. And it's like a little ditch, right? And the first porn that I ever saw was from the magazines, my people. You had grown-ass men that used to come out there and do whatever they did, and they would leave, like, the magazine pictures and covers and stuff like that. So that's the first time I ever got exposed to that type of stuff, was through them damn magazines, man. You know, we got people on the check-in. What they say? Somebody said the Wright brothers. Yeah, the Wright brothers. You right. You're a smart brother, man. Yes, the Wright brothers. Yup. Somebody said the Wright brothers. Somebody said TSS. Somebody said, yeah, SP. Well wrong. Yeah. So over there by the Wright brothers, yup. They had a flight, they had planes and stuff that they was flying over there in that area. And, you know, it's the landmarks are still there. The landmarks are definitely still there. And people used to go over there and leave magazines, man, magazine covers, and you see a whole bunch of type of craziness, man. It was wild. You know, that was my first introduction to that type of stuff. And then with VCRs, whoever, maybe my older brother, maybe my mother, my father, whoever was watching it, they'll leave it in the VCR by accident. You think you about to watch some cartoons, and then next thing you know, you hear that music, you know what I mean? You know the music of them 70s porns. You hear the music, and then you see type of things, and with your little mind, you don't know what's going on. You curious, you know. So that's how that's how I discovered it, man. You know what I mean? It's different now. These kids on the internet, you can find anything on the internet. Back in the day, it won't like that, man. We had pay-per-view with that channel that played that type of stuff. And sometimes you can hear it. Like, you know, it'd be fuzzy. The station be fuzzy. You can't really see too much. But you could use your imagination. And then sometimes it'll get clear for a second. And sometimes you can hear what was going on. And that's how we discovered back in the day, man. That's how we discovered it back in the day. We got somebody in the check-in. They was like, somebody said, what? Somebody said, in New York, somebody said, is New York as crazy as they make it seem on the internet? Is New York as crazy as they make it seem on the internet? Well, you see right here, this is Long Island. Some people wouldn't consider this New York, New York City. It is a suburb of New York City, Freeport, Long Island. I work in Queens, so that's New York City, and it's about a half an hour away from New York City. You got to realize New York is broken up into 5 boroughs. You got Queens, Manhattan, you have Brooklyn, you have the Bronx, and you also have Staten Island. So when people tend to talk about the city, usually they speaking about Manhattan. You know, they talking about Manhattan, and every single borough got a different personality. So the Bronx has a crazy reputation. The Bronx is a place that, you know, it changed, but back in the day, I mean, it was very dangerous out there in certain parts. Very, very dangerous. And to this day, certain parts of the Bronx still run by gangs. And, you know, it's one of them places you kind of don't want to be, you know, depending on the time of the day and who's outside. Things could definitely go down. And over there, in the Bronx, Manhattan also has its places that's kind of messed up, you know. In general, Manhattan is a nice place, a whole bunch of money, but, you know, you still do got your areas out there, Lower East Side, some spots in Harlem, still kind of crazy. So things go down over there. Brooklyn is one of the boroughs that changed a whole lot. Somebody said Long Island Railroad. Yes, sir. Kevin Griffin. Yup, Long Island Railroad. That's exactly where I'm going. Somebody said, broke eye. You funny. Somebody said, you walking outside. Yeah, I'm walking outside, walking to the train station, my brother. Walking to the train station. So where were we? We was talking about Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn is an area where it used to be crazy. Like, Brooklyn was wild. Back in the 90s and the 80s, Brooklyn was very crazy. That's why you hear a lot about Brooklyn. Brooklyn has gone through a lot of gentrification, my people. A lot of gentrification. I was living in East Flatbush a couple of years ago. So if you guys been following me, y'all know I was doing Uber Eats out there in Brooklyn, delivering into all the neighborhoods. And Brooklyn is cool. But there are still some pockets of Brooklyn left where you can feel like you're in danger. I was over there, I don't know if it was Bed-Stuy or Brownsville. I think it was maybe Brownsville. Over there by Mother Gaskin Boulevard over there. It was still kind of crazy. At night, I did not like being over there, man. So many things used to happen. I used to have the Citizen app. And it's so wild because I'll be in one area and then leave. And then 5 minutes later, you'll hear, oh, that spot got shot up. Or cops are in the neighborhood searching for this. Like, Brooklyn was kind of crazy at night. But I fell in love with Brooklyn that night. Somebody said, what they say? Somebody said, Albany Projects. Who this Kevin Griffin guy, man? What up? You know a lot. Somebody said Queens, Liberty Avenue. Yup. Somebody said do or die. Bad stuff. Yes, sir. My homie speaking a lot of stuff about New York. You from New York, my man? How you know so much about over here? So, yeah, it was definitely crazy over there in Brooklyn. I'll tell you this. When I'm in the neighborhood and I start seeing people changing their letters, and I see that a lot in Brooklyn, man, where they not saying words with B's, they not saying words with C's, I tend to get up out of there. And I was also living in Brooklyn around that time because where I was from, it was a bunch of C's over there in East Flatbush, that area, but they was beefing with Canarsie. And Canarsie is, you know, kind of close, but it's kind of distant. So when I used to do my Uber Eats, like, you definitely felt it. You saw the graffiti on the wall. You saw the names on the wall of people who passed away. So I knew it was real over there. Now, Queens is another area that, you know, it definitely got its packets or pockets of craziness that goes on. I'm from Long Island, so I grew up going to Jamaica Avenue in the 80s, South Side, over there in that area. That's where 50 Cent and all of those guys are from. It wasn't no joke, kid. It definitely wasn't no joke. It was one of those places where we kind of had beef. I wouldn't say it was beef with Long Island and Queens, but if you was from Long Island and they knew you was from Long Island over there in Queens, they would definitely try to bully you. Definitely try to bully you. A lot of Queens people used to try to come to our malls over here, like Roosevelt Field, try to stunt, try to act tough. A lot of cats from Brooklyn, Bronx or whatever, they would come to where I'm from, which is Hempstead and Long Island. And, Long Island got its parts too. Hempstead is one of them. Roosevelt, Uniondale. You got Wine Dance out there in Suffolk. You got Amityville, Deer Park, certain places that definitely get down. And Hempstead is one of the places that get down, so we would get a bunch of people coming from the city talking about they gonna run Hempstead or Long Island and South, and it just never turned out good for people coming out here acting crazy like that, man. We got other people on the check-in, what they saying. Somebody said, I felt safer in Mexico than I did in Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn was you in, man? What part of Brooklyn were you in? Somebody said, I'm from Oregon. Man, never been there. Like your stories. I subscribe. Thanks, man. Thanks, my people over there in Oregon. I want to go to Oregon too, man. I want to travel to the United States of America. I want to travel to the United States of America. I have been too. In the last 2-3 months, I've been to a bunch of cities out here on the East Coast. First place I went to was Boston. Then I took myself over there to Philly. I also went to Jersey. Next trip is going to be Bmore. Then I'm going to flip it and go to Detroit, man. Anybody in here from Detroit? I love me some Detroit rappers. I met somebody from Detroit when I was younger. I really like the energy from Detroit. I see him like, man, I got a bunch of people coming in from Michigan that come in and talk, and I love their energy. So I got to go over there, man. We talking about the Flints. I want to go over there to Flint. I want to go out there and check Detroit. Like, I just want to chill out there, man. Chill out there. We got somebody on the check-in, what y'all saying? Damn, buddy, you need a damn bike or a car. You crazy, man. Dan's looks hot out there. Somebody said I stayed in Brownsville the first time I visited New York, dog. Yeah. Somebody said Chicago. Chicago is in the check-in. That's another place I want to chill at. I've been to Chicago once, but it was for a wedding, and I was only out there for a couple of days, but I could not go out there and really see how the people rock out there in Chicago. And Chicago is a place that been on my mind for the longest, because being in the hip-hop community, Chicago put it down. And man, I was one of the only people out here in New York rocking the Crucial Conflict, man. I used to love Crucial Conflict. And Common, off top from the beginning, was always one of my favorite rappers. You also had Twista, Do or Die. They was making a name for themselves out here in New York. And, Farrakhan and them from Chicago. So they played a huge part in hip-hop, So Chicago is definitely another place that I definitely want to go to. Who else we got on the check-in? Somebody said spent time in Detroit, Chicago, South Bend, Indiana, and now Asheville, North Carolina. You everywhere, baby, everywhere, all up the coast. I've never been to Detroit. I had family that lived in Indiana. One of my cousins was a pacemate. She used to dance for the Pacers, man. That's crazy. I want to go to Indiana. North Carolina, I got family from North Carolina, but they from the South, man. It's country out there where they from. My mother's from North Carolina, and my father, he's from Alabama. So we straight from the South. Somebody else on the check-in said, rap is not music. Somebody said, go to Israel. Somebody said, rap is not music. He said, you seem chill and nobody talking crazy in your chat because you seem like a down-to-earth guy. Peace, brother. I got to go to bed. Be safe. All right, thanks, my man. Thank you, Jamie Bullfrog. I definitely like your input. It's beautiful. Somebody said rap is not music. I would have to disagree with people saying rap is not music. It is music. It's just, rap has progressed, and rap definitely has changed. I don't want to sound like my grandparents who would say, turn off that hippity hop. Them boys ain't talking, that ain't real music. Listen to some James Brown, boy. Like that, I ain't gonna be like that, you know what I mean? From my study of hip hop, it's definitely music. It may not all be original music, but the way that they mix the music in and put things together and make it sound good. I believe that that's definitely music, and it takes creativity to do that, because with rap, you'll hear it's like a puzzle. It may not be original music, but it's original interpretations of other music, and they put it together to create a new sound. Now, you also have rappers who are really like poets, man. You listen to some of the stuff that they say, you can tell that they put time into their craft, and it's very interesting. So you'll listen to a KRS-One. You'll listen to someone like a Ras Kass. I mentioned Common earlier. These guys are real poets, man. They're not just aimlessly throwing words together. They're making it sound well. They making it make sense. And they also touching people on a different level, man. You feel me? So I definitely would say that hip hop is music. What else we got? We got, somebody said, let's fade, bro. Let's fade. What you trying to smoke? Somebody said it's called sampling. Yes, it is definitely called sampling. He is 100% correct. It is called sampling. He said rap came from real humble beginnings. Yes, sir. Rap did come from humble beginnings. Somebody said Asheville. Let me take off my glasses. Asheville, North Carolina is Western North Carolina. In the mountains in South Bend, Indiana is the home of Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Beautiful college, man. Notre Dame. Yeah. Notre Dame. All right. All right. Giving me a history lesson out here. I want to go to Indiana, man. Again, Gary, Indiana. I think Michael Jackson, them, they from Gary, right? Indiana. I think Mike Epps is from Indiana. What's the name from Indiana? Bird, Larry Bird, he from Indiana? But yeah, I definitely gotta chill out there in Indiana, man. You know, somebody said, what else? Somebody said, let's fade, let's fade. Somebody said, let's fade. I don't smoke no more, man. You know, I'm not averse to it. I ain't against it, but I haven't smoked in months, man. I haven't smoked in months, kid. Somebody else in the check-in said, hello, my name is Dunkalicious, but I'm new of your channel and I like you. Subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the subscribe. Ashley is on the check-in. 0206. She said, I love Common. Yup. Common is definitely a beast, man. Common is a beast. And Ashley, you got the same name as my wife who passed away. So whenever I see an Ashley, I definitely give them a shout out. You know what I mean? My wife's name was Ashley. Somebody said, that can't be snow. Laugh out loud. Worldwide love. Yeah, it is snow. It's definitely snow out here, man. We had a snowstorm a couple weeks ago, and it's still been cold. We haven't had a lot of rain out here, so, yep, the snow's still on the ground, man. Hopefully, man, if you've been going back in my lives, I see this snow been on the ground for like 3 weeks. I mean, for like a couple months. Somebody else said, dad homies. Yeah, rest in peace to your dad homies, brother. Rest in peace to your dad homies. Somebody said, I like rap, but I like a lot of different music. All right, Jason. He said he liked rap, but he like a whole lot of different types of music. That is a well and balanced way to look at stuff. Somebody said, are you going to the corner store, bodega right now? Nah, no corner store. This is 7-Eleven. I'm about to go get my coffee. My train is at 5. I got a little bit of minutes to catch it, so I'm chilling, reading the comments with y'all. I'm going to go in there and go make myself a coffee. Somebody said, has anyone said you sound kind of like Denzel Washington? Yes, sir. Yeah. Everybody say I sound like Denzel, man. Again, Denzel, I diss where he's from. I think I always call it upstate, but it's not really upstate. It's like the Yonkers area, Westchester, like just north of the Bronx and those type of areas. I'm from Elkhart, Indiana. Shout out to the people in Indiana. Somebody said rap, hip hop, that isn't gangster, is usually, rap, hip hop, that isn't gangster, is usually intelligent. I would agree. On walls, I would most definitely agree. Somebody said, yeah, Gary is only 30 minutes from Notre Dame. Gary is unfortunately empty city. Damn, he said Gary is an empty city. That's crazy. I hate to hear those stories, you know. I hear a couple places like that in Michigan also where, you know, it's cheap houses, a lot of people not living there. Somebody said some people can't smoke, they gotta work. I'm sorry to hear about wife. All right, Jamie Bullfrog, thank you, man. And some people can't smoke, they gotta worry about work. You are 100% correct. So stay away from them drugs, my people. Stay away from those drugs. We got Ashley that said, wow, she sent the heart signal. You already know what's up. Thanks for checking in. It's love. Somebody said, oh, heck not. That is where the crackheads be. Where the crackheads be? In Gary, Indiana, you saying? That's where the crackheads be? Somebody said, girl from B robbed, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not joking. Girl from B robbed, and I'm not trying to be funny. Somebody put that sign up. I don't know what that sign is. I definitely got with the laugh and the heart, I got Put that up, man. See what that's about. Somebody said you sound like one of the dudes that would scam with the ball under the cup game. You trying to say, man, I'm a scammer? Nah, I don't be scamming, man. You know, I'm a regular, hardworking individual, just like you. Somebody said that's the streets. It definitely is the streets. Somebody said King Kong ain't got on me. King Kong ain't got on me. That's a Denzel line. I see what you doing, man. Shout out. Somebody said Detroit is rebuilding. I heard that Detroit is rebuilding. Somebody said Babylon line. This Kevin Griffin guy, man. Who are you, son? Babylon line. You know a lot about Long Island. You know a lot about Brooklyn. You know a lot about this city, man. I think you from out here, man. I think you're from out here, Mr. Griffin. He got to be from out here. Somebody said still. We put the green heart with the peace sign up. Somebody said, where is this? This is Freeport, Long Island. Freeport, Long Island, Nassau County, New York. Somebody said, what's up, man? Out here in Seattle. Oh, my Lord. Seattle is definitely a place I need to go to. Seattle is definitely a place I need to go to. But I got to get out of here, my people. Thank you guys for checking in. I'm at 7-Eleven, about to make me a coffee, about to head over there to that train and start my day. I love y'all. Catch y'all tomorrow, man. Peace out. Yeah.